Hello and welcome to Solidworks Station. My name's Stuart, and in today's tutorial we're going to look at creating this Lacoste aftershave bottle. There's a few things that we're going to learn on this particular tutorial. We're going to look how to produce a revolve boss base. We're going to look at a few smart dimensioning tips as well. We're also going to look at creating a thread using the hull wizard and also how to shell. In addition to all that, we're also going to look at how to create appearances on certain surfaces and how to use decals as well when you've got a particular file that you're using, a PNG file, and how you can use the mask layer in that to make things look a little bit more realistic. So without further ado, best of luck everyone. If you run into any problems, please get in touch. I'll be more than happy to help you out, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm in SolidWorks. I've gone to File, I've gone to New, and I've created a new part and pressed OK. So I'm going to sketch this in the front plane. I'm going to go normal 2. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a center line down through my origin point like so. And I'm going to make sure that the center point of this line and the origin have a relationship here. I've just held down Control to pick those 2 points. Let me just show you that again. So click on this point, hold down Control, click on this point, and make those 2 points coincident. Okay. From here, we're then going to sketch out the bottle. I'm going to sketch out half of it. Now, if you wanted to, okay, if there was something that you wanted to mirror, okay, you could do that using dynamic mirror entities. That's under my S key, so a shortcut key that I've got here. If I press S, you're looking for this here, okay, dynamic mirror entities. This wasn't going to be part of this tutorial, but I might as well show you it whilst we're here. So, dynamic mirror entities, what this does is, if I click on this, if I click on the line first, this center line, and then press my S key and get dynamic mirror entities, if I sketch a line in the left hand side of this mirror line and left click again, it will appear on the right hand side. Okay, so when I sketch something that's got a lot of symmetry, you can see how your design time can be halved just by that quick set of commands that I've just shown you there. How to get that on your S key, if you're wondering, if you press your S key just then and you're thinking, I don't have that available. The reason for that is that you need to add it. The way that you do that, if you just right click on this ribbon here and go to Customize, and if you go to Shortcut Bars, and then from here click on this drop down menu and go to Sketch, and then you need to drag it from here, okay, it's this one here, you need to drag it over and put it onto your shortcut little box here that you've got. Okay, if you've got anything in there that you want to remove, you can do this the same. So you can just drag it and drop it out of it. Okay, so you can see I've not got the dynamic mirror entities now. Okay, if I drag it and drop it on, okay, I get that available, and then just press the OK button, and every time you press the S key now, that option is available. Okay, so that might be a bit useful for maybe some of the projects that you've got on at the moment. So what I'm going to show you now is how to model this and do a revolve boss base. I'm going to turn dynamic mirror entities off. I know that it's on because this line that I produce has got these double horizontal lines appearing here at the top and at the bottom. Okay, so I don't want that on. So if I click on the line and just turn it off, so I press my S key and just turn it off, okay, it will no longer mirror. Okay, so I'm going to get a line. I'm going to draw a line from here, horizontally across and down. I'm going to go down at an angle again, and down at an angle, and then back to my center point. Okay, like so. And then we're going to add some smart dimensions to this. Okay, so first I'm going to go to smart dimension, and from here to the top I've got 80mm. Then from this center line to the furthest edge, which is this one, okay, this is going to be 40mm. I've got a distance here at the top at 10, and I've got a distance here as well at 10mm. I've got a distance from the bottom here to this line here of 60. From the bottom line to here, I've got 20. The bottom line to here, I've got 25. From this bottom line here to here, I should have 70. From the center line to here, I should have 30. From here to this line, should be 40. An angle here of 130. And now we're fully defined. So from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to features, I'm going to go to revolve boss base, and it says the sketch is currently open. That's because I've got a center line that runs down here. Okay, would you like to close it automatically? Yes. Okay, and it's span it around 360 using my line 1, this one that's highlighted in blue now, as my axis of revolution. I'm now going to press the green OK button, like so, and there's a few things that I'd like to do to this. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shell the whole thing. So I'm going to go to features and shell. I'm going to shell this by 2mm thickness, and I'm going to click on this top face like so, and green tick. What that's done, if I just click on a section through here, is that's completely hollowed out the inside of this particular aftershave bottle. Just going to come out of section view, Control 7 on my keyboard to get a nice isometric. Then from here I'm going to create a thread. So I'm going to go into the hole wizard. So drop down menu for the hole wizard and go to thread. OK. And the thread location is going to be this external edge. Okay, I'm going to pick a metric die. I'm going to pick an M20 2.5, and I'm just going to press Control 1 on my keyboard to get a nice front-on view. And I'm going to click on Offset. I'm going to reverse the direction. I'm going to maintain the thread length, and I'm going to press on the green tick. So 5mm in here, reverse direction, offset on, 10mm in here, blind, and maintain the thread length, and green tick. What that does is it just makes this thread just end really nicely here at the top to help us, if we did design a lid to this, to help us screw that on. So the next step, what you could do if you wanted to, you could add some fillets to this if you wanted. So I'm just going to do Control 7. I didn't do this on my one that I've got on as the preview, but you could go to fillet. You could fillet this nicely with a constant size fillet, and items to fillet. You could fillet this. Just delete that. You could fillet this edge here. Okay, I've done that with 10mm. Green tick that. You could fillet some more edges. We might not get away with 10mm here, but you can have a look. There's one at 10mm. 10mm. We could just go 10mm all the way around, like so. and green tick, just to give it a little bit more of aesthetic appeal. And then from here, what we could do is we could go to our appearances, scenes and decals. Let's just go and have a look at some glass, and we'll use frosted glass. So we'll get frosted glass and drag, drop it on. We get three options: face, revolve or body. I'm going to select the body, and then from there I could then add a decal to this. So how I do this, you can go in here if you want to, go all the way down to the bottom to decals. I prefer to go into the render tools and edit decal. And then I'm going to browse for my image that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go to my desktop, Lacoste. I'm going to use this Lacoste file here. Okay, if I right click and just go to the properties of that, you can see it's actually a PNG file. Okay, and these are really good for using when you're using decals. So I'm going to press OK and open. I'm going to apply an image mask file in a bit, which I'll show you how to do. So right now we need to click on the face that we want this to be applied to. So I'm going to click on, let's do Control 7 on my keyboard. Control 7. Okay, and I'm going to click on this surface. From here, what I'm going to do is go to mapping, and I'm just going to tweak the mapping from mapping cylindrical to label. Just going to move it around a little bit. That's down. I'm going to move it around this way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, obviously that needs rotating by 180 degrees. Let's do it by 90 in fact, and let's flip it vertically and horizontally. Okay. Okay, once your image fits, once the image fits something like that, what you can do then is you can go back to your image, you can go to image mask, pick the same file because it was a PNG mask file. Okay, and you can see what it's done there. Okay, it's masked it out. You can actually go to the illumination options here and choose use underlying appearance. Okay, so it's opacity goes down. However, you can go back to image and you can invert the mask, okay, to make it look a little bit more realistic on the outside of the bottle. It's entirely up to you if you want to use underlying appearance or not. You can have it on the inside like so, or on the outside, and you can use some of these settings here. Okay, your specular amount, the diffuse amount. You can play around with these settings to get it looking something which you're happy with. The blurriness, okay, you can increase and decrease. Reflection amount, how much it's going to actually reflect on a render. Okay, transparent amount. Okay, so you can play with the opacity on that. So lots of different settings in there. Once you're happy with it, just press the green tick, and then we're ready to render. So you just go to your Solidworks add-ins, make sure Photo View 360 is on. If it's not there, just right click and just ensure that Solidworks add-ins is here. Choose Photo View 360, go into your render tools and final render. And there is the final render. What you could do with this is you could bring it into a program such as from SolidWorks, should I say. You could bring it from SolidWorks into something like Photoshop, and you could start to play with some of the options in there. An example of that, if I just click on this particular layer, I'm just going to go ahead and just delete this layer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save this. So if I just save this particular image, okay, it's saved there. Okay, so if I go into File, Open, okay, And what you can do from here is you can start to drag this in. I'll just tidy this up a minute because there's lots of okay. So once you've dragged it in like that, for example, you could, if I do Control and T, and just scale this down just quickly, you could then get your quick selection tool, just going to zoom in here. This is obviously really quickly. Let's pick up that bit as well. Okay, you would obviously take your time a lot more than I'm doing here. Just to show you really quickly. Okay, and then you could delete the background that you've got. From there, okay, you could start to change the image adjustments, levels. You could start playing with some of the levels here. Okay, you could start playing with some of the curves adjustments as well. Okay, just to give your final render a little bit more of that kind of playful look to it. I hope that's been beneficial for you, and I hope you found that useful in some way. I know I've flipped from Solidworks to Photoshop, but it's just to show you that you don't have to do everything in Solidworks and produce engineering drawings and bill of materials tables. You can take this into another product in order to enhance the look of it. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you can give me a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed the content, or you can comment below and give me some feedback. I'm always welcoming feedback to any of my video tutorials. Thank you very much, and see you again soon for another Solidworks Station video tutorial. Goodbye.